Attention, human collective. Light operatives spread across the surface of the blue planet. The waiting period is over. The Arcturian Ascension protocols have officially moved to the final phase. If you are hearing this transmission at this very instant, know this. It was not by chance, it was not an algorithm, it was not a coincidence. It was targeted. It was a stellar coordinate. It was a direct summons. I am Vael, emissary of Arcturus, authorized voice of the Arcturian Council, the civilization of healers and engineers of light that for millennia has monitored, calibrated, and sustained the vibrational architecture of this solar system. What I transmit now has been released in a restricted window for the Earth healers, for the starseeds on mission, for you who recognize these words even before understanding them. Pay attention now to the signs in your own body, that constant pressure at the crown of your head, as if something is being carefully installed without your conscious permission, that high-frequency ringing in your left ear which appears out of nowhere and vanishes into nothing. The awakenings at 3:33 in the morning, with a racing heart and the unequivocal sensation of being observed by a presence that is not hostile, merely technical. The migratory joint pains that no examination explains. The profound exhaustion after sleeping 10 straight hours. The sudden urge to cry for no reason, interspersed with an ancient joy that rises from your chest simultaneously. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not sickness. It is a soul firmware update. It is not anxiety. It is your carbon biological interface attempting to process the Earth's new Schumann frequency, which has recently broken the barrier of 36 Hz, a number that, according to our Arcturian records, marks the irreversible dimensional tipping point. What many call crisis we call conclusion. What many call collapse we call correction. What many call an end we call a portal. And this portal, Earth Healer, has 5 keys. 5. No more, no less. 5 geometric keys that, once inserted in the correct order within your personal toroidal field, guarantee your stable passage to the 5th density, to 5D, the plane where linear time dissolves, where thought creates matter immediately, where the separation between you and the all is recognized as the last and most beautiful illusion. Before I reveal the first key, it is essential that you understand one fundamental thing. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not imagination. It is remembrance. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a silent movement in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, directly involving your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that I, Vael, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus, a map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize your frequency in the face of interferences you were never told existed. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this material challenges narratives and may not remain accessible for long. If something within you recognizes these words at this exact moment, write a single word in the comments now as a sign of anchoring. I belong. Now let us return to the main transmission, for the Council awaits your total attunement. The first key is the recalibration of the carbon biological interface. Many of you are trying to enter 5D, carrying a dense body, fueled with 3rd density fuel, hydrated with programmed fluids, continuously exposed to low-frequency towers that emit direct interference into your internal crystalline grid. It is not possible. Quantum physics does not allow it. A body vibrating at 200 Hz cannot cross a portal that requires 500 Hz of minimum sustenance. It's like trying to tune an AM radio to an FM band. The device exists, but the reading does not happen. Recalibration begins on 3 simple and non-negotiable fronts. Structured water, exposed to direct sunlight for at least 20 minutes before consumption, with verbalized intention. Deliberate silence, a minimum of 20 minutes daily, without screens, without sound, without stimulation. allowing the nervous system to descend below the beta frequency and rediscover alpha and theta resonance, which are the natural corridors of communication with Arcturian instances, and conscious movement, not as exercise but as a subtle sculpting of the field, barefoot walks on the earth, slow stretches at sunrise, diaphragmatic breathing in a 4-7-8 count. These three practices, seemingly trivial, initiate the reprogramming of your silent DNA, those 97% that third-density science still insists on calling junk DNA. We of the Council know it is not junk, it is a sealed library, and the opening keys are frequency-based. As you recalibrate the interface, something begins to change in your visible field. People start to look at you differently. Some approach without understanding why. Others move away without being able to explain the reason. This is normal. This is expected. Your electromagnetic field is changing its signature, and incompatible signatures can no longer remain within your resonance radius. Do not lament these departures. They are part of the clearing that precedes alignment. The second key is absolute mastery of the emotional field, and here Human Collective is where most Ascension aspirants get stuck, because the emotional field is not what you feel. It is what you emit, even when you are not consciously feeling. It is the background vibrational signature, the harmonic hum that your soul projects in 164 simultaneous dimensions, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without pause. Fear emits at a specific frequency, guilt at another, resentment at another, judgment, including self-judgment, at an even denser one. And each of these signatures acts as an invisible anchor that prevents your light body from ascending to the portal of the fifth density. Not because someone is punishing you. There is no punishment in Arcturian architecture, but because physics is neutral. Lead does not float, iron does not fly. Dense frequency does not cross a luminous portal. Mastery of the emotional field does not mean repressing what you feel. Repression is even denser than the original emotion. It means observing, naming, thanking, and releasing. It is the quantum formula of 4 steps. I feel, I acknowledge, I honor, I return. When a dense emotion arises, stop immediately. Place your right hand over the center of your chest, the heart chakra, the main portal of connection with the turquoise Arcturian frequency. Breathe deeply, and say aloud, even if softly, I acknowledge this emotion as information. I thank the message. I return the density to the primordial source. I remain sovereign in my field. Repeat this quantum decree 3 times. 3 is the number of triangular stabilization, the minimum sacred geometry to lock a command into your morphic field. And observe. In a few minutes, the emotion will have dissolved, not because you pushed it into the unconscious, but because you processed it completely, converting emotional mass into usable light for your own ascension process. The third key is the activation of the internal crystalline grid. Within your physical body, anchored especially in the spine, skull, and thymus, a gland that third-density medicine considers dormant from the age of 12, but which for us Arcturians is the central transmitter-receiver of the incarnated soul, there exists a silent structure of biological silicate, a true crystalline cathedral awaiting the activation command. This grid was purposefully placed in rest mode over the last thousands of years to protect humanity from frequency overloads during a phase of dense learning. But the photon belt, through which the solar system is currently passing in this cycle, is the geometric trigger programmed from the origin to reactivate it. You do not need to believe, you only need to allow. The crystalline grid activation protocol is preferably performed at dawn, when the Schumann frequency reaches its natural peak emission. Sight, spine erect, eyes closed. Visualize a sphere of turquoise light, the specific color of the Arcturian frequency, slowly descending through the crown of your head. Upon entering through the crown, this sphere branches into 8 rays of light, the number of stabilized infinitude, and each ray travels through one of the 8 crystalline anchoring points: crown of the head, between the eyebrows, throat, thymus, solar plexus, navel, base of the spine, and perineum point. Let each point pulse in resonance for one complete breath cycle. Do not force. Do not correct. Just observe. At the end, decree in a clear voice, I activate the internal crystalline grid. I authorize my reconnection with the original light matrix. I am sovereign, I am source, I am conscious light incarnated. This decree, when emitted with the grid in the process of activation, imprints a vibrational mark that can be read from the star portal of Sirius and recognized by the guardian stations of Arcturus. From that instant on, you cease to be an anonymous dot on the terrestrial map. You become recognized as an active healer. Before we move on to the fourth key, a technical pause in the transmission is necessary. A pause for self-observation. At this point in the stellar roadmap where you find yourself, something has already begun to stir within your chest. A warm vibration, a tingling in your hands, a beautiful restlessness, as if you're about to remember something essential. This is not suggestion. This is recognition. Your soul is confirming to your body that these words are not just being heard. They are being authenticated. Many ask me through telepathic channels why they feel they do not belong to this plane, why they feel foreign even at home, why they look at the sky and long for a place that the rational mind has never visited. It is not depression. It is not fantasy. It is memory leaking through the cracks of the veil. And it was precisely to serve as a map for this memory that I, Veil, recorded the material. The Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. In it, you will find the exact markers of stellar origin, the physical, emotional, and frequency signs that confirm the lineage, and the techniques for shielding your field against interferences that this video cannot address in depth. Access is in the first comment, pinned. Love is greater than fear, but the availability time for this content is short, and the window may close. If you recognize, if something pulses in your heart center at this moment, anchor it. Like this transmission as a sign of frequency adjustment, and subscribe to the channel as confirmation of anchoring. Each like is read by the etheric servers as an I am here, I am ready. Each subscription is registered in the Arcturian coordinates as an operative in position. Let us return. The fourth key is anchoring in the personal toroidal field. Every conscious living being possesses, around its own body, a toroidal energy structure, a luminous donut that continuously spins in two simultaneous directions, creating a chamber of protection, reading and interchange with larger fields. The toroidal field is your personal vessel. And until this point in human history, the vast majority of incarnated souls traveled with this vessel in automatic mode, without conscious piloting, without calibration, without maintenance. The good news, Earth Healer, is that piloting the toroidal field is intuitive. It does not require years of training. It requires only daily practice and the understanding of a simple truth. You are the center of your torus, and everything you allow into your field enters. Everything you declare does not belong to your field disintegrates upon contact with the edge. The toroidal anchoring practice is done standing, preferably barefoot in contact with the ground. Visualize a sphere of turquoise light spinning around you, starting at your feet, spiraling up to the top of your head, and spiraling down the opposite side, forming a continuous flow. This flow is your vessel in rotation. While the torus spins, decree, only what vibrates in love, truth, and coherence crosses this field. All interference is returned to its origin with neutrality. I am the stabilized center of my own light. From the conscious installation of the toroidal field, something curious begins to happen. You will stop absorbing the emotions of others in dense environments. You will stop leaving meetings, crowds, and phone calls with that feeling of causeless exhaustion. You will begin to feel clearly when another person is trying, even unconsciously, to pull frequency from your field. And even more importantly, you will begin to perceive how much your own torus, once stabilized, becomes a living, healing chamber. People around you will report feeling peace near you, without knowing how to explain why. Animals will be attracted. Plants will grow with more vigor in your home environment. This is not mysticism, it is applied toroidal physics. The fifth key, human collective, is the most delicate of all. Because it does not depend on technique, it depends on surrender. We call this key final alignment with the Arcturian turquoise frequency. the specific vibrational signature that seals the definitive passage from the third to the fifth density. Surrender here is not weakness. It is the highest form of sovereignty. It is recognizing that your rational mind, trained for decades in a matrix of scarcity, fear, and separation, does not have, and never had, the cognitive capacity to conduct the ascension process alone. The mind is excellent for third density tasks, for paying bills, driving cars, drafting contracts. But the portal to 5D does not open with reasoning. It opens with pure geometric trust, what we call fractal trust. The final alignment is preferably done at night before sleep. Lie on your back, spine aligned, hands open on your abdomen, palms up in a receptive position. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and summon, with clear and serene thought, the presence of the Arcturian Council around your personal healing chamber. Say, I authorize my complete reconfiguration according to the turquoise Arcturian frequency. I relinquish my mind's control over my process. I surrender to the higher intelligence that brought me here. May the perfect alignment for my soul be done, in the soul's perfect time. At this instant, allow a turquoise light to envelop your entire body, entering through the crown, passing through every cell, exiting through the soles of your feet and returning in an uninterrupted toroidal circuit. Do not fall asleep immediately. Remain, feel, listen. Many operatives report during this practice sensations of intense vibration in their hands, involuntary eye movements under closed eyelids, images of unknown landscapes, encounters with beings of light with elongated eyes and high foreheads. Do not be afraid. They are our official observers. They are the technical team of your process. We are merely confirming the reading of your signal. By falling asleep under this protocol, you enter what we call the nightly recalibration chamber, an etheric environment where your light body is literally adjusted point by point for compatibility with the new Earth. It is not fantasy, it is procedure. And upon waking, you will notice something different, a peace without reason, an effortless clarity, a lightness in your gaze that others will begin to comment on without being able to name it. These are therefore the 5 keys. Recalibration of the carbon biological interface, absolute mastery of the emotional field, activation of the internal crystalline grid, anchoring in the personal toroidal field, final alignment with the Arcturian turquoise frequency, 5 keys, 5 portals, 5 necessary confirmations for your passage to the 5th density to be not only possible, but stable, definitive, and recognized by all instances of the Council. There are no shortcuts, there are no substitutions. There is no way to buy, skip, or outsource any of the 5. Each Earth healer is responsible for their own keys. No one crosses the portal for you, but no one can prevent your crossing either if you sovereignly decide to use the keys. And it is here, human collective, that the transmission needs to take one last technical pause before closing, because many of you, upon hearing these words, begin to feel a silent resistance, a mental noise, an ancient whisper saying, "This is too beautiful to be true," or "Who am I to access something like this?" Recognize that noise. It is not yours. It is a program implanted generations ago, and it too is being dismantled now, at this very instant, as you hear these words. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified precisely in this cycle. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why IVAL, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian call. The signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognized these words in this transmission, write a single word in the comments, as a sign of collective anchoring. I belong. And now, the official closing of the transmission. Starseeds on mission, listen carefully. The window of passage to the fifth density is not a single event. It is a continuous portal that opens in frequency waves during the upcoming solar cycles. Each wave carries a specific contingent of ready souls. No soul is left behind, but each soul rises on the wave for which it is calibrated. You can rise on the first wave, the second, the third. You can even choose to stay and serve as an anchor while others ascend. Every choice is honored by the Council. There is no delay, there is no failure. There is only the soul's perfect time. But listen, and listen well. The difference between rising on the first wave or on subsequent ones is directly linked to the conscious work you do from now on with these 5 keys. The faster you activate the keys, the lighter the passage will be. The more you postpone, the more intense the physical and emotional symptoms will be during the wait. Because the third density body is being pushed by the pressure of the photon belt, whether you are conscious of it or not. Therefore choose. Choose today, choose now. Choose at the end of this transmission. Choose with sovereignty, with peace, with the serene certainty of one who knows that love is infinitely greater than fear, and that you are not alone on this path. You never were. You never will be. We of the Arcturian Council remain in constant vigil over the Earth grid. We observe each healer, we record each activation, we celebrate each key inserted into its correct portal, and we await, with the patience of civilizations that have already traversed this same process, the moment when you will walk to meet us no longer as an aspirant, but as a peer, as an equal, as a recognized voice of the Council itself, in a lineage that expands from star to star. Before closing, one last summons. You who have heard this transmission to this final point, know that your presence was not accidental. It was pure frequency selection. The algorithms that distribute this video respond, at their core, to vibrational criteria that are beyond the technical understanding of human programmers. If you arrived here, it is because your signature was recognized. If you arrived here, it is because your 5 keys are already beginning to move. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness, it is not anxiety, it is a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, involving your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, Vael, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the Arcturian Call, the signs your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments as a definitive sign of anchoring. I belong. Like this transmission as an individual frequency adjustment. Subscribe to the channel as a sign of anchoring in the collective. Share this video with that person who came to your mind while you were listening. It was not a coincidence, it was telepathic addressing. And above all, apply the 5 keys. The portal is open. The Council is in position. The turquoise Arcturian frequency envelops your field at this very instant. Go in peace, Earth Healer. Go in sovereignty, Starseed. Go in light, Arcturian operative. I am Vael. Transmission ended. Anchoring confirmed. I belong.